that list that was given to the police was large enough that everybody. So what did these guys do, like the higher powers? They got our police injured for a different reason. In between this production and the devil's people chasing, this is the devil's people now, chasing Prophet Hanna in 1998 onwards. Prophet Hanna went into the police station and said, keep an eye on me. I'm doing something big. Even before I wrote, if those police officers are dead, basic copyright law number 101, I own it still. And if fraud was delivered overseas, not my concern. But look at the Glob now. So it's my understanding they are after England. Because with the case of Hanna, they swallowed this. Then they went to Turkey and swallowed that. Then they came back and swallowed this. They even told Hanna to leave her own home. Move somewhere else. You don't move somewhere else like a squalor. But when we deal with guys like that, that's what it is. They told her to move somewhere else. So they want to swallow here. It got worse. Then they brought out actresses and swallowed that. It's like you're targeting a particular group because A, you're not creative, or B, you've been given a mandate. But remember that guy that was in the car yesterday? He looks like he's from England. And we have like an Indian man hugging onto him who looks like an Italian mob now. We don't know what you're doing from a management perspective, but it's not a good thing. So you travel the world fucking up people. That's your job. But it's not a good thing, and we're looking for alternatives. So what did they do? They swallowed the alternatives. They put brain data into Prophet Hanna to extract the information. This is foundation of God. You will never see it this detailed again. So Louis Mendez, this is part 3 now. Louis Mendez was a crack addict that was put next to Hanna, a heroin addict. She helped him and took care of him, and George was his brother. George was blonde and blue eyes. He was Polish. Khalida Begum is an Indian loan shark who did fraud with Laurentian Bank. As they build India and China, they want New World Order, where they give you a house, you work all your life, and then they take it back. So these guys fucked up England, tried to Hanna, got Hanna killed, and she survived death. Do you really want to go through this? It's so large, the 2645 Barclays scandal, that it was on the news. It was even on the news. So this woman here was on the news. We don't want to live like this. But we don't know what we're doing, so we're closing the operation. You see? They're still trying to crush. This is how many years later? So between 1998, just look at the Hanna case study, because she's going to showcase in the Real Evolve exhibit the Barclay story. She's going to showcase that, because it's not just Barclay. It's probably several kilometers of houses, now that I think about it, that were shut down because, possibly land needs to rest or whatever the case may be. So from 1998, and I'm doing this only to put pressure on these guys to release funding of Legally Do. From 1998, Hanna has lost her body, has lost her face, has lost home photography, has had replicated items in the house stolen. They have, did fraud in Canada, Montreal, did fraud in Turkey, then came back to Toronto now. And they made her a genetic test. which she voided it using a higher platform overseas in Geneva. But you should see, she died. They created World War III because they couldn't control Hanna versus these guys. They just couldn't control that devil's thing. They created World War III. We don't know the status of the police. We don't know the status of what happened in the United States, because while they were building overseas, Hanna was already completed. Hanna went to Chase Bank in Chicago. They voided Chicago. Now it's England against them. And the mess they did with England and order. Now they want to live in tents for the next 1,000 years. As they male bind with a single woman. Like, what they did was not, it's just to win, but I'm too mature for that. Like, they were almost like little children. We're dealing with millions of people. And as they pushed a wolf to the ground, because in there's a wolf, as they push someone to the ground, we swear to you, back and forth, millions of people died. So these guys are actually the smaller devils people. So between 1998 to 2024, there's also pages of stories before they came back 15 years later, another entry.